Let's talk about something so many of us experience but rarely understand. That jarring, middle-of-the-night wake-up call. But what if it isn't a sleep problem at all? What if it's actually a message, a really profound signal that you're on the verge of major personal growth?
You know the feeling, right? Your eyes just snap open. It's the dead of night, and there's this heavy, anxious feeling in your chest that you just can't shake. It feels so random, so unsettling, but I promise you, it's not. There is a powerful message waiting for you in that moment, and we're about to figure out exactly what it is.
Okay, so why does it feel so intense? This isn't just some glitch in your sleep cycle. We need to completely reframe this. Think of it as a deliberate signal from the deepest, wisest part of your mind. It's a mystery, for sure, but we're about to unravel it together.
And you probably lie there, right? Racking your brain trying to remember a nightmare? But that's not actually what's happening. Imagine your subconscious has a pressure valve. Well, that jolt awake, that's the valve blowing a little early because your nervous system is working overtime, processing some big truth that you just haven't been ready to face during the day.
And this, right here, is the message. It's loud and it's clear. Your subconscious is gently tapping you on the shoulder in the quietest hour of the night to say exactly this. You're changing, you're evolving, you're shedding an old skin, and it needs your full attention. So this isn't a warning sign of danger. Think of it as an announcement of growth.
Okay, so if it's a message, how in the world do we read it? Well, the feelings, the thoughts that are circling, even the first thing you see when you inevitably grab your phone, none of it is an accident. These are all clues being sent up from your subconscious, and they're all pointing to a much bigger pattern that's unfolding inside you.
So let's look at what's really triggering this. That pressure valve blows because something significant is bubbling up. Maybe a core belief you've held forever is starting to shatter, or an old fear just got poked. It could be an old wound resurfacing, or a new healthy boundary that's fighting to be born. Your mind is flagging one of these things and saying, hey, we need to look at this.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. That feeling of dread isn't meant to paralyze you. It's a prep memo. It's your subconscious whispering, hey, remember what happened last time you started to level up? Remember the pushback you got? Let's get ready this time. Let's make our boundaries just a little bit stronger. It's a protective instinct designed to sharpen you. And sometimes, another really interesting clue pops up. Envy. We're taught from day one that envy is this toxic, awful emotion, right? But what if it's not? What if envy is actually just a signal, like an inner compass that's pointing directly at a desire or a path you gave up on a long time ago? It's not a character flaw, it's just a piece of data.
So all of these clues, the dread, the envy, the timing of it all, they're all building towards one central revelation. They're pointing to a core divide in your relationships that might have been quietly shaping your entire life.
And this brings us to this core conflict. In our lives, there are basically two kinds of energy, expanders and restrictors. Expanders are your people. They clap for you, they encourage you, they genuinely want to see you fly. Restrictors, on the other hand, they feel threatened when you grow. Your success, for whatever reason, feels like a loss to them, so they try to keep you small.
Now, what happens when you are a natural expander, but you are raised by restrictors? Well, that is where so much of that 2:30 a.m. anxiety comes from. It creates this deep internal war. You end up feeling guilty for dreaming big. You feel anxious the second you actually succeed. You might even find yourself self-sabotaging right when you're about to level up. It all comes from this deep-seated fear that if you grow, you'll lose the people you love.
And this right here is the moment of pure freedom. It's when you finally realize that their reactions, the silence, the subtle put-downs, the lack of cheers, it was never, ever a reflection of you or your dreams. It was always a reflection of their own fears and their own limitations. It was always about them.
Getting that one simple truth is how you break the cycle. And we're not just talking about feeling a little better here. We're talking about fundamentally rewriting your entire internal story, shifting from self-blame to profound self-understanding. This is how generational healing starts.
Have you ever wondered why you're such a cheerleader for other people? Well, this is why. If you're an expander who is raised by restrictors, your encouragement isn't just you being kind. It's a healing reflex. You are freely giving the one thing you were starved of. You're consciously breaking a pattern, vowing to never ever make anyone feel the way you did. For years, your greatest skill was probably just endurance. You learned how to push through, how to weather the storm, because you had no other choice. And yeah, that endurance built incredible strength, but it also built a really, really heavy suit of armor.
But here's the thing about that armor. It protected you then, but it's way too heavy for where you're going now. Your task is no longer to just endure. Your new task is permission. Giving yourself permission to grow without apology. Permission to succeed without needing approval from people who are committed to keeping you right where you are.
So where do we go from here? Look, this awareness isn't just some interesting psychological tidbit. It's a calling to live your life in a totally new way. So let's turn all this understanding into a concrete, actionable plan.
First things first, you have to reclaim the parts of yourself that were shamed into silence. Your deep curiosity, your endless need to ask why, your drive to understand things. That was never a flaw. It was your signature. And if it was ever ridiculed, it was only because your questions exposed the limitations of the people around you. That was never your problem to carry. So here's your toolkit. 4 simple steps. 1. When you feel that dread, interpret it as an old belief being dislodged. 2. Acknowledge the theme. Name it. Is it disrespect, control, envy? You have to name the ghost to evict it. 3. Reframe envy. Just ask yourself, what is this trying to show me that I want? And 4, and this is so important, let you speak first. When you wake up, before you grab your phone, just sit with yourself. Let your own voice be the first one you hear.
And let's be really clear about something. If you sometimes wish for a simpler, less aware life, that's not your soul talking. That's just exhaustion from carrying this weight all by yourself. You were never built for simple bliss or blissful ignorance. You were built for depth, for insight, for an awakened purpose.
That awareness is not a curse. It's your calling. Your mind was designed this way, to connect the dots, to see the patterns, to ask the questions nobody else will. So the final question isn't how to stop it. It's how to own it. You were never meant to be simple. So who will you become now that you know?